Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 98. And in this episode, I will continue going through the Emily Cook interview from Doctor Who Magazine, issue 595, as well as some more 60th anniversary news from Doctor Who Magazine, issue 596. So I'm going to pick up, right, so if you haven't watched the last episode, or the episode before that, I suggest you go watch that, otherwise you might be a bit lost. So continuing from where we left off in the last episode, always eager for a bit of gossip, I can't help but ask how she got on with the old Doctor Who Magazine gang back then. But alas, Emily never has a bad word to say about anyone. I loved the guy she said, I loved the work, I loved the office, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to work there forever, but at this point working Doctor Who Magazine seemed like nothing more than a post-uni pipe dream. In the final year of uni, there's so much pressure to know what you're going to do next. I knew I needed to have something concrete lined up, so I started looking at teacher training again. I was actually signed up to do a PGCE, and then a few weeks before that was meant to start, Doctor Who Magazine contacted me out of the blue and offered me a job working as an editorial, there we are, assistant on Doctor Who Magazine and the Doctor Who Complete History part work. Alongside doing editorial bits and pieces, it wasn't long before Emily started writing for the magazine. I went to represent Doctor Who Magazine at the Doctor Who Festival in 2015, Emily recalls. I wasn't there to interview anyone specifically, just to be there, but I took the initiative and managed to acquire the interview with Michelle Gomez, who plays Missy. I remember I was a bit terrified, partly because it was my first big interview, but also because it was Michelle, and like Missy, she's formidable. So it was an intense experience, but I thrived on it. Yes, from the end of the Peter Capaldi era, I began going on set for interviews, did a lot during Jodie Whittaker's era. Speaking personally, I tend to get a bit tongue-tied and nervous around my favourite actors, and I asked Emily if she ever found interviewing the stars of Doctor Who nerve-wracking. Initially, yes, she replies, but mostly it's exciting. As a fan, I've always relished interviewing for Doctor Who Magazine, but at the same time, it's important to be professional. I've always tried to get a good balance of that. Ultimately, though, it's just a delight and a privilege to speak to these people. Yes, they're the stars of Doctor Who, but they're really down to earth. Now I get down to the real reason for this piece. I tell Emily that Rusty Davies is... I tell Emily that Rusty Davies is quick to point out that she's the reason the old team was back together. Emily gives a modest smile. I got a bit lost there, that's why there was a slight pause. And looks a bit shell-shocked. Little bit shell-shocked. I'm still processing that, to be honest. It's a massive thing. I asked her how it all came back. It started during the pandemic, March 2020. All of our lives changed very similarly during that first lockdown. It was a scary and uncertain time. I wanted to watch Doctor Who as a source of comfort, and I tweeted on the off chance to see if anybody wanted to virtually watch it with me. That tweet went viral, and before I knew it, it turned into this huge global online event where fans around the world were rewatching Doctor Who together. Then past creators, writers and actors started to get involved. How did that happen? How did you invite them? The first tweet along was the day of the Doctor, Emily tells me, and the event was getting some Radio Times coverage online. Stephen Moffat had picked up on it via Brian Minchin, who is a former executive producer on Doctor Who. Then Brian got in touch with me to say Stephen might want to get involved, so I reached out. I knew Stephen was on Instagram, but I said it's not going to really work on Instagram. I think it needs to be on Twitter. Amazingly, Stephen joined Twitter. So for that first week along with Stephen, Ingrid Oliver, who plays Osgood, and Dan Starkey, who plays Strax, live tweeting. Suddenly the tweet-along concept became fans not just rewatching Doctor Who with each other, but with a real-time commentary from the show's stars and creatives. Such a wonderful shared communal experience at a time where people were feeling very isolated. The Daily Doctor tweet-along trended at number 1 in the world. At that point I thought, okay, we're on to something here. Actually, even before that, I suspected the fullback could run for longer than just one off. The day before Steve did his first Twitter log, I put the feelers out to see if anyone else would be up for getting involved, and slid into Russell's DMs on Instagram, and I said, I'm doing this thing, Steven's agreed to do it. It would be really cool if we did one of your episodes afterwards. What do you think? Very politely and kindly, Russell said no. Obviously I respect and accept that. It's a big ask to get a high profile people to go near Twitter, because it can be a minefield. Even so, I told Russell about Steven's tweet log just in case he wanted to join it privately. Remember his response? He said it clashed with Antoinette's Saturday takeaway. Laughed because that was the same dilemma I had with his Doctor Who in 2005. After the success of Steven's tweet log, I went back to Russell. I said, I don't want to be annoying, but Steven did his. He had a great time. It was a real hit. Would you reconsider? He thought about it and eventually said yes. Just imagine where would we now if Russell hadn't changed his mind? I know. Russell agreed to do Rose, and it trended #1 worldwide again. Russell started producing new minisodes to be released online each week. They were going down really well. I was very confident we had a good template now, and I began bringing all these great writers. Richard Curtis and Neil Gaiman did tweet comments, and Steve did another one, and we upped our game by getting Matt Smith, Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill involved too. Russell had previously said he would only do one. I never wanted to push my luck, so I pushed carefully, but I went back to him and said, what if we do the Stolen Earth and Journey's Ending, but David didn't ever want to do it? Most epic Twitter log ever, I remember he said, you're such temptress. And then he agreed. But he said it would only work if we could get David. So we plotted to get David to do a tweet along, which we eventually did. Catherine take two, and we produced and released Farewell Sarah Jane. By this point, Russell said he'd do anything for Doctor Who Lockdown. All in, sorry, I didn't read it. All in all, it's an incredible story, as Emily says. Essentially, everyone was enjoying the tweet so much. It was this nostalgia-fueled mind of all. We loved Doctor Who, and rather wonderfully it brought people back to the show. Was this plan all along? Emily laughs. No, not at all. At the heart of this whole thing was a pure and simple passion for Doctor Who. It was literally just me sitting on my own at home with my laptop during the pandemic, wanting to escape the real world and engage with my favourite show. The repercussions of that are mind-boggling, and the fact that it's David, Catherine, Russell who've returned, it was such part of my childhood to made such an impact on something I think you love so much is overwhelming. It's amazing. It certainly is. Every Doctor Who fan in the universe owes you a massive ton. They don't owe me anything, but they can buy me a drink at the next convention if they really want to, Emily says with a laugh. Until I remind her that she will end up completely smashed. She's then kind enough to point out that she would not have been in a position to make any of these happen had it not been for Doctor Who magazine. I'm normally not one to shy from blowing my trumpet, or at least Doctor Who magazine's trumpet, but this is Emily's moment, so I won't write down all the wonderful things she said about Doctor Who magazine crew, past and present. Instead, we'll move on to the present and future, which is going to be even more exciting for our former work experience, hopefully. It was Rusty Davis who planted the idea of a career in television in Emily's mind. In the middle of all the lockdown stuff, Russell asked me, have you ever thought about even working in TV or producing that sort of thing, because I think you'd be really good at it. I had wondered a bit. During my time set reporting, I quite fancied the idea of being on the other side of things, but that had assumed I was on a different path, I suppose, reporting on what was happening rather than actually being involved in making it happen. But Russell gave me the confidence I needed to make a career job. I'm so grateful to him for that, and for all his continued encouragement and support. I think the jump came after I made contact with Peter Harness as part of the Zygon Invasion tweet along. As soon as we got chatting, he told me he was developing a TV series, and after we got chatting, he told me he told me he was developing a TV series and asked if I'd be interested in joining his story rooms, coming on board as script editor. He gave me an amazing opportunity. The show is Constellation for Apple TV+, and it's been an intense and incredible crash course in working on a high-end international show. I owe a lot to Peter. He's completely wonderful. I'm now working as development executive for his new development production company, managing a whole slate of original projects. At the same time, of course, you move on from Doctor Who, he says. It wouldn't be where I am were not for Doctor Who. It's such a significant, special, inspiring part of my life. It always will be. Emily left me with promises to meet up soon, and then confided that she doesn't really like dealing with attention. Made me swear an oath, write this up in a way that embarrassed. Of course, I had no intention of keeping that oath. That says more about me than it does about her. Emily, the glare of the Doctor Who magazine spotlight does embarrass you. I'm sorry, truly sorry, it's beyond my control. Just blame Rusty Davis. That is the interview with Emily Cook from Doctor Who magazine, issue 595. And now we're on to Doctor Who Magazine issue 596. And we're starting off with some pieces from some sections even from the Gallifrey Guardian section. And the first bit that I'm talking about is titled The Return of the Toymaker. The BBC have confirmed that the character played by Neil Patrick Harris opposite David Tennant's 14th Doctor is his old enemy, the Toymaker. This powerful, enigmatic foe has made only one previous TV appearance 57 years ago in 1966's Celestial Toymaker, where he was played by Michael Gough. However, he was last mentioned as recently in 2020 Can You Hear Me? Also confirmed is that Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, played by Gemma Redgrave, and Unit are back. And National Treasure Mira Margolyes will play the voice of the Meek in the first 60th anniversary special, The Star Beast. The next bit is titled All of Time and Space. So, the back catalogue of Doctor Who is to be made available on BBC iPlayer. Doctor Who's executive producer Phil Collinson says there's been a long time in the planning and was so excited at last. The back catalogue of Doctor Who on one site, the entire production team had a Zoom on which the iPlayer team unveiled their plans. We were guessing mid-Zoom, I texted us to say, imagine being 8 years old and seeing this. Imagine you could hop from Master to Missy to Master. From the first Dalek story to the last, every design of Cybermen, robots from Chumley, K9 to Professor Ketwell's creation, and those blue-skinned and those blue-skinned ones on Carthel. What a feast! And the fact that there's so much work has been put into subtitling and audio description makes me so proud. Doctor Who's for everyone, and we want to have fun with this enormous back catalogue. And our plans are afoot to make the whole thing even more alive and accessible and fun. Plans you should be hearing very soon as we hurtle into this Doctor Who winter. The next section is titled Unleashed. A brand new Access All Areas show, Doctor Who Unleashed, begins this November on BBC Three and BBC iPlayer. The series is hosted by Stephen Powell and produced by Bright Branch Media. After each new episode of Doctor Who, Stephen will take viewers on a journey showing them just how the programme was made. With exclusive interviews with cast and crew, showrunner Ross T. Davies says, over the years I met so many people who were inspired to find careers in TV because of the behind-the-scenes material in the BBC would show, and now it's back, but in the grand old tradition of Doctor Who Confidential, but in a new form, Unleashed. So a whole new generation and faithful fans of old can see what the stars and the crew get up to behind the cameras. Joe Pearce, who is the Bright Branch creative director and Unleashed executive producer, says this series gives audience access to all areas led brilliantly by Stephen Powell. Viewers are invited to see what really goes into the making of Doctor Who. It's been such a privilege to create the show, and we're so grateful to the cast and crew who welcomed us in and allowed us to tell the story behind the drama. Stephen says, when you're told Rusty Davies asked you to present the show, you say, when does he want me? It doesn't matter, I'll be there. There's fun and fascinating group of people bringing Doctor Who life. I can't wait for the audience to meet them. I'm so chuffed to have been trusted to help tell in all its glory, the story of what goes into making this magic happen. And the last bit from this section, titled In Concert, to mark the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, which is, as we know, Joe Wiley presents a very special edition of Sunday Night's Music Night on BBC Radio 2. Doctor Who at 60, a musical celebration with the BBC National Orchestra of Wales and the BBC Singers, conducted by Alistair King, celebrates the music of the TV series. The concert, which was recorded in Cardiff on the 28th of September at BBC Hall, Cardiff, feature world-exclusive first live performances of Ruby Sunday, the Doctor's new companion theme, The Life of Sunday, the theme tune of the 15th Doctor called 15th, and a new iteration of the iconic Doctor Who theme tune reimagined by composer Murray Gold. Other tracks include I Am the Doctor, Abigail's Song, Mrs. Gallifrey, The Impossible Girl, and The Shepherd's Book. A short selection of 20th century music. There's also contributions from showrunners Russ T. Davies, Stephen Moffat, and Chris Chibnall, and composers Murray Gold and Stephen Canola. Doctor Who at 60, a musical celebration, you can now listen to on BBC Sounds, and it's on BBC iPlayer now when you're seeing this, I believe. So the next bit of Doctor Who magazine news from issue 596 we're going to look at is the letter from the showrunner. So here we go. And it reads, letter from the showrunner. At last, Russ T. Davies has some dates for your diary he'd like to tell you about. At last, it's time to get excited. Here we go, come on. We're going to use these capitals this month. I like them. Doesn't it feel ages since Doctor Who was on? Well, if we get this right, you'll be spinning with Hooness for years and years. If content is king, we've got right royal regal procession coming your way, so stand back. Fanfare trumpets. Amin Tiaras. Yes. After months of hints and winks and slight little asides, it's time for, well, okay, a few more hints and winks and blah blah blah. We're almost there, and you've seen that lovely, great, big, pre-Strictly trailer, the unit tower with its built-in helipad on the 55th floor. I mean, getting so much more is on the way this year, like Miriam Margolyes Meep and the brand new TARDIS interior. Oh, and that terrifying scene with Sue, not to mention 2 celebrity historical figures thrown in for good measure. Plus the sheer goddamn mystery of Special 2, with like a cherry on top, a genuine in-universe crossover with my ITV drama from earlier this year, Nolly, which is truly canonical and official because I say so. I told Charlie Quinn, the script editor of Nolly, what I'd done, and it actually does. It's the RTD universe. Promote that now. Dates to look out for: November the 1st, November the 17th, and November the 23rd. And none of those is the date of the special transmission. Also, I'd better say none of them is a date to book a hotel for, since we don't have any live events planned. Sorry, we want to concentrate our fire on things everyone can see. Mine is on September 18th, which is this particular liminal time where not all publicity decisions have been finalised. So I'm talking about things which should have been announced by the time this is published, and yet I can't quite be sure. Like Miriam's announcement, which had planned for October, but then her autobiography was published giving the game away early. Oops, press release quickly. But you know about Unleashed by now, yes. Although you won't know, it would be popping up unexpectedly briefly well before the Star Beasters show. What? How? Oh, just wait. And you've been told about the archive, the back catalogue of Doctor Who arriving on the iPlayer at last. When I arrived at this job, I told them I wanted to 1. Make Doctor Who, 2. Annually, 3. Create massive behind the scenes coverage, 4. Not telling you that yet, 5. Nor that, and 6. Have the back catalogue of Doctor Who ready and available, not just for us fans, but for children, families, and absolutely anyone. The show had already been split up on different platforms and behind paywalls. Now it's here for all you to see as one mighty empire. You can go from 1963 to the Power of the Doctor without changing channels. Mind you, I made that statement and then kind of forgot about it. I was busy, you know. About 18 months later, I casually said to Judy Gardner, hey, what's happened to that iPlayer plan? Has anyone done anything? She gave me her basket to get and informed me that, well, I'd forgotten all about it. Fleets of lawyers, producers, subtitlers, and date wranglers had worked their fingers to the bone in the small hours of the night for an entire year to swing the deal. I'm with you. Ooh. Thanks, also. You're going to get stuff we've planned for more than 18 months. We're also getting extra things that sprang into being well yesterday. Okay, it was July this year. But as the summer began, I was thinking about the 60th and wondered, have we done enough? So I had an idea on July the 5th, sent a formal proposal to the team on July 20th, then 3 scriptwriters got to work, and now, just 2 months later, in the second half of September, we're about to embark on a 6-day studio shoot of brand new material that won't make you fizz, I promise. And meanwhile, we're filming on the actual show, back on the streets of Cardiff to shoot the next series. 5 of the next 9 scripts finished and planned, so all the excitement above is already in the past tense for us. No, that's not true. We're as wide as you are. Programs don't really exist until they're transmitted, so right now, the universe feels live and buzzy and wild with anticipation. And any second now. Yahoo! The next bit of news to do with Doctor Who from Doctor Who Magazine, issue 596, is the production diary, which is written by Scott Hancock. Tuesday the 15th of August, middle of the month, we received first draft scripts of Block 2's second episode and Block 3's third, shooting out of order. Our Block 1 director officially starts work in Wolf Studios, and 2 Doctor Who writers and a script editor accidentally collided at Cardiff Central. Confusion ensues, only one of them was there for a meeting. Wednesday 16th of August, executive producers Ross T. Davis, Phil Collinson meet with me and co-producer Sharon King for a TOTT kick-off meeting. Enjoy the acronym. We also receive a third draft of Block 4's second episode. Thursday, the 17th of August, the executive team gather with producer Victor Lowe and director Jamie Dunhue for the first review of the 2024 series finale, and our second Block 2 writer visits studio to discuss their first draft script. Friday 18th of August, Block 1 director meets with Andy Pryor to discuss casting. Monday the 21st of August, a big day for Block 1 as our director and writer meet for a private page turn and a first tone meeting this afternoon. It's the first time director and income producer Alison Sterling meet with the entire team to run through the script in full from start to finish. At this stage, it's less production-led and more about how each aspect of the episode should feel. Costume designer Pam Down also meets with the executive producer group to discuss Shooty's outfits for his second season. Tuesday the 22nd of August, the Block 1 core team begin 3 days of initial location scouting. Wednesday the 23rd of August, with November fast approach today's the final mix for Special 2 Wild Blue Yonder. Thursday the 24th of August, today directors of photography and are interviewed for Block 1, and a second draft of Block 2 second episode is delivered. Monday the 28th of August, although it's technically bank holiday, our Block 1 writer delivers a fourth draft of their episode. Sunday the 3rd of September, first script of the month, as we receive draft 3 of Block 2's first episode. Monday the 4th of September, a busy start to the week as our Block 2 director officially begins. The script team meet with our second Block 3 writer and receive new scripts for Block 1, Draft 5, and Block 4's second episode, Draft 4. Tuesday the 5th of September, a small crew visits a familiar 2005 location in the centre of Cardiff for a Reese. Wednesday 6th of September, our Block 2 director meets with the art department and VFX teams. Meanwhile, the Block 1 team meet with potential editors and scripts coming in for TOTT, that acronym again. Thursday the 7th of September. Following yesterday's introduction today, our Block 2 director meets with new hair and makeup designer Julie Kendrick and a returning first assistant director. Friday the 8th of September, BBC Studios meet with the Doc 2 team for a series of publicity conversations, and Andy Pryor talks through Block 1 casting recalls with its director and producers. Monday the 11th of September, both Block 1s and 2 are ticking away now. Our Block 1 director meets with their incoming director of photography, while Block 2's director discuss the second Block 2 script with its writer in their personal page turn. We also received draft 2 of Block 3's first episode. Tuesday the 12th of September, a design-oriented day as Phil Sims, production designer, meets with the Block 1 director to discuss set design. Later joins the Block 2 second episode methodology meeting. This is where key crew gather to run through each script to talk about how best to realise each element. Should monsters be prosthetics or visual effects? Are we building a set or going on location? Are those scenes better at night or day? All these questions are asked and more. Wednesday the 13th of September, the first of our Block 2 tone meetings discussing Block 2's first episode with Russell and heads of department. Thursday the 14th of September, the Block 2 team set off on a location Reese. Vicky DeLow discussed Blocks 3 to 5 with our executive producers, and Miriam Margulies is announced as the voice of the meat in the Star Beast. Right, and that's actually it for this episode, so let me know what your favourite announcement I've talked about in this episode is, and that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 98. Goodbye.